And we're back now. The New Orleans metro area is full of aspiring artists, and the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation and the New Orleans Business Alliance, they want to help local musicians earn more money for their art. Scott Aegis with the foundation joins us with the details this morning. And, you know, Scott, we have so many talented artists in this city that do many different things, but the problem is if they do these things, you really have to protect those via copyright, via something. Let's talk about, you're going to have a foundation, you're going to have an actual, meeting for these people to go to. Let's talk about what people need to know if they're an artist to protect themselves.
Sure. Well, Bruce, as you know, so I'm with the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation, which is the nonprofit that owns the Jazz Fest. And for many years, we've been doing music business development workshops that we call Sync Up, syncing up the music business with locally with the music industry internationally. And so all of the musicians and songwriters in New Orleans would love for movies, video games, TV commercials, whatever, to use their music, because that pays really good money. And we do have a lot of musicians who find that their music gets into movies and TV shows and whatnot, but there are a lot of others that would love that opportunity. There's one problem. A lot of people here locally have neglected to take a very crucial step, which is to properly register the copyrights for their recordings. If you don't do that, then a movie or a TV show won't touch your music because it's not properly registered.
Sure.
So we've got this workshop tomorrow night that starts at 5:30 at the Jazz and Heritage Center. That's a collaboration between us, Jazz and Heritage Foundation, and the New Orleans Business Alliance, to help explain to local artists and musicians not only this is what you have to do and why, but here's how.
Right.
And so we'll walk you through the steps of exactly how to do that. And this is really only the first step in a multi-pronged process, because if you come to this workshop tomorrow, then you get the opportunity to get free legal help from the Ella Project, which is an artist assistance volunteer lawyers program that will help artists get their catalogs together so that they can then fill out the paperwork to properly register the copyrights for their music. And what's even better than that, if you come and do all these steps, the New Orleans Business Alliance has lined up funding to provide grants to the artists so that they can defray the costs, which are not that huge, but still, we're all struggling. It costs money to register your copyrights, and so now there are going to be grants available to help defray those costs. So it's really a good deal. It's a free workshop. You learn how to do all this stuff, you learn why, and then you get not only help, but financial assistance.
But it's amazing. Here's a scenario. A lot of movies filmed in New Orleans. Producer walks into a bar, here's a local person saying, that would be a great score, or that would be a great song for this movie. So he goes and talks to him, but it's not registered. Could he get it registered immediately to say, you know, we need to go into post-production with this thing? Because that can happen. Sometimes, spur of the moment.
It can. It doesn't take, years to properly register a copyright. It's usually a matter of a few weeks. So it can be done, but if you don't have that step already taken care of, you're just throwing a monkey wrench in the process. So it's really to your advantage always to make sure that your stuff is properly registered, because turn that scenario around. Let's say Steven Spielberg or whoever walks into a bar and says, oh my God, you're fantastic. And the band says, oh, well, we just happen to have a recording of our music. Here you go. And Spielberg says, okay, great. And they can put it in the movie. And if they look up in the copyright registry, they say, oh, this thing hasn't been copyrighted yet. They can just grab it. And the band is out of luck. So if you want to protect your rights, you really have to take that necessary step. It's not that hard, but it's necessary, and so many people just don't do it.
Well, this workshop could be very helpful. Thanks again, Scott.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it. And again, great for the artist out there.